Warning: before you spend $2,000 on a premium soundbar, watch this video. Right now, big box retailers are running massive blowout sales on flagship soundbar systems. Samsung Q990 series, Sonos Arc Ultra, all discounted, all looking like smart buys. And the salespeople are not going to tell you what just dropped at CES 2026, because what LG just announced changes the entire equation. It's called the LG Sound Suite with Dolby Atmos FlexConnect. And if you understand what it actually does, you will never look at a traditional soundbar the same way again. Today we're tearing it apart. The tech, the real-world implications, the confirmed pricing, and the honest verdict on who should buy it and who should walk away. Let's get into it. To understand why FlexConnect matters, you first need to understand the dirty secret of premium soundbars. The one that's been quietly costing consumers thousands of dollars for years. Here's how every flagship soundbar system actually works. It fires sound waves from upward-facing drivers, from side-firing channels, at your walls and ceilings, expecting those waves to bounce back at precise angles and land on your ears from all directions. It's called acoustic beaming. And on paper, in a perfectly symmetrical room with flat 8-foot ceilings, it's impressive. But whose living room actually looks like that? If you have vaulted ceilings, the sound fires upward and disappears. If you have heavy curtains on one side and an open kitchen on the other, half the sound gets absorbed into fabric and the other half escapes into the next room. And the rear speakers, the ones that are supposed to put sound physically behind you, require symmetric placement. Same distance from the couch on both sides, same height, same angle. But most people have a couch pushed against a back wall, or a corner layout, or exactly zero floor space for speaker stands. So one rear speaker ends up on a windowsill, the other gets shoved behind a floor lamp, and the premium 11.1.4 channel Atmos experience, you paid $1,500 for collapses before you even hit play. Samsung does include SpaceFit sound calibration, which partially compensates for room imperfections, and it genuinely helps. But it's still correcting a fundamentally rigid system with software. The speakers still need to be in roughly the right position. Physics is still fighting you. That's the trap. And it's been hiding in plain sight for years. At CES 2026, LG announced something that attacks that problem at the root. The LG Sound Suite. Centered around the H7 soundbar, the world's first soundbar powered by Dolby Atmos FlexConnect. And FlexConnect doesn't just adjust for room imperfections. It makes your room layout largely irrelevant. Here is how it works, and I'm going to make this genuinely simple. Traditional surround sound assumes speakers are in specific predefined positions and calibrates around that assumption. FlexConnect flips the entire model. You place the speakers wherever they physically fit, on a bookshelf, on a side table, in a corner, because that's where the outlet is, and the system detects exactly where each speaker is in three-dimensional space using Automatic Room Calibration Pro. Then the Alpha 11 AI processor Gen 3, the exact same silicon LG uses in their flagship old TVs, individually adjusts the volume, phase, and timing of every driver in real time to create a balanced, cinematic Dolby Atmos soundstage from wherever those speakers happen to be sitting. Left speaker on a 4-foot shelf, right speaker on a 2-foot side table, one tucked in a corner. Doesn't matter. The system corrects for all of it automatically. LG demonstrated this live at CES. A demonstrator physically picked up a satellite speaker mid-demo and moved it to a completely different position. The system detected the change and recalibrated in about 30 seconds without any user input. That's not a firmware update. That's a fundamentally different architecture. The H7 soundbar itself is a 9.1.6 channel system, 9 ear-level channels, 1 subwoofer channel, 6 dedicated height channels, running 12 full-range Peerless drivers plus 8 passive bass radiators. Peerless is a Danish acoustic engineering company with over 100 years of driver design. These are not budget components. The modular expansion is where the system gets genuinely interesting. Pair the H7 with M5 or M7 wireless satellite speakers and the W7 wireless subwoofer. Scale all the way up to a 13.1.7 channel configuration across 27 possible combinations. Add components over time as your budget allows. Nothing you buy today becomes obsolete when you add something next year. Now the feature that should make every other audio brand nervous, Sound Follow. Using ultra-wideband technology via the LG ThinQ app on your smartphone, the system tracks your physical location in the room. Move from the center of the couch to an armchair in the corner, the system detects it and recalculates the audio output in real time to shift the sweet spot to wherever you're sitting. Your listening position becomes the center of the Atmos bubble dynamically, not a fixed point you either happen to be in or you don't. Two honest requirements worth flagging here. First, Sound Follow needs a UB-capable smartphone, that's iPhones from the iPhone 11 onward or modern Samsung Galaxy flagships. No UB on your phone, no Sound Follow. Second, and this one isn't on the marketing page, Sound Follow only activates when at least 2 M5 speakers or 1 M7 speaker is connected to the system. The H7 alone doesn't enable it. You need to have expanded the system first. If you're finding this useful, hit the like button and subscribe. We expose what retailers don't want you to know every single week. Now let's talk about real numbers. Because this is the frugal consumer, and tech doesn't mean anything without the price tag attached. LG announced official US pricing on January 6, 2026, and it's now available at LG.com and Amazon. Here's the full breakdown. H7 soundbar, $999.99 W7 wireless subwoofer, $599.99 M7 wireless surround speaker, $399.99 each M5 wireless surround speaker, $249.99 each. So what does a complete system actually cost? Entry point, just the H7, is $999.99. Add the W7 subwoofer and you're at $1,599. Add a pair of M7 surrounds and you're at $2,399. Max out at 4 M7 surrounds plus the W7 for the full 13.1.7 channel configuration and you're looking at $3,194. That's not a typo. Compare that to the Samsung HWQ990D, currently available at major retailers for around $900 to $1,100 as a complete 4-piece system, including soundbar, wireless subwoofer, and wireless rear speakers. Everything in one box. One price. So here is the honest, frugal verdict. And it's not a simple one. Let's put the comparison plain. The Samsung Q990D at $900 to $1,100 gives you an 11.1.4 channel complete system, soundbar, wireless subwoofer, wireless rear speakers out of one box. 22 total drivers. Dual HDMI 2.1 inputs for gaming. DTS-X support. SpaceFit Sound Pro calibration. It is an exceptional package at an exceptional price, and it dominates any room where you can actually place the rear speakers where they're supposed to go. The LG Sound Suite H7 alone at $999 is competitive with that. Add the W7 sub at $599 and you're at $1,599 for a system without any satellite speakers yet. The Samsung is already a complete 11.1.4 setup at that price. The LG only makes the value math work if the flexibility is solving a real problem in your specific room. If your living room is symmetrical, your ceilings are standard height, and you can place rear speakers in roughly the right positions, buy the Samsung Q990D right now at its current sale price. Zero installation complexity. Everything included. The LG's flexibility advantage simply doesn't apply to you, and you'd be paying what we're calling the FlexConnect tax, a premium for a problem you don't have. But if your living room is the other kind, asymmetric layout, awkward furniture placement, couch against the back wall, vaulted ceilings, rooms where you've never been able to get rear speakers in the right position, the LG Sound Suite is the first system that genuinely solves that problem at the hardware level rather than patching it with software. Start with the H7 at $999 and build from there. That entry price is actually competitive. It's only when you max out the configuration that the cost becomes an early adopter proposition. One more honest caveat: Google Cast support for the H7 doesn't arrive until after June 2026. If you're a Google Cast household, factor in that gap before purchasing today. The bottom line is this: FlexConnect is not a firmware update or a marketing rebrand. It's a genuine architectural shift in how home audio works, and it's the first technology to meaningfully solve the real room placement problem that has plagued traditional soundbars for years. The Samsung Q990D is the smart buy right now for symmetrical rooms at a discounted price. The LG SoundSuite H7 is the right buy for anyone who's ever looked at their living room and thought there's just nowhere to put rear speakers correctly, and who's willing to pay a premium to never have that problem again. Don't spend $2,000 on a system that requires a perfect room you don't have. Understand your room first, then choose the system that's designed for it. Subscribe so you don't miss our full hands-on review when we get the SoundSuite into a real living room. And drop a comment right now telling me, what's the biggest layout challenge in your space that's always messed with your audio? I read every single one. See you in the next one.